returning learners and new people watching for the first time. We do baritone ukulele every other Wednesday. And today we're going to talk about how to play a solo that sounds like a solo and not a scale. We'll break down a specific solo, but all these techniques you can apply to your own improvisation. It's also very approachable and easy, so even if the concepts are difficult for you, you can still learn a solo on your baritone. Printable tabs, backing track, good stuff up here by becoming a Patreon. Ukulele brain attention span, follow me on in. Let's break it on down. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to start off open G string, but we're not going to play on the 1. We're going to go 1 and. And this is the first tip to making it sound less like a scale. You don't always have to start your ideas on the 1. So it's not always 1. You don't even have to start it always on the downbeat, like 1, 2. You can start it on the and after the 1, the third beat, the and after the fourth beat, anywhere you want. By not starting on the 1, you kind of subvert the expectations and create musical interest. We're going to start there, and we're going to play open G string, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, sorry, 3rd fret on the B string, 5, 5. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now notice I also hit this note 2 times. The second tip, don't be scared, or if you didn't realize, you can hit notes more than once in a row. You don't have to play a note and then go to a note. You can repeat the same note. So we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then we're going to come up here, 3rd fret on the E string, down to 5th fret, down to 4th fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. The next piece starts on the 3rd fret of the E string, 5th fret of the B, 4th fret of the G, 3rd fret of the B, back to 5th fret. Now here, you'll notice instead of going through the scale in order, we skip the note. Right there. We go from 5 directly to 4. So the other thing is play the scale out of order. You don't always have to play the notes in the order. Skipping notes, making leaps creates interest. We also added some vibrato to this note. That's the other tip. Hammer on, pull off, bends, vibratos, and slides are the 5 levels of ornamentation. You should take time to get familiar with each one of them, because all 5 will make your solo sound less like a string instrument and more like a voice. And a good solo feels melodic and vocal. All right, so first 2 measures, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Third measure, which is my next point, motifs. With a motif, you're repeating an idea, and you'll see that the 3rd measure is the same as the 1st. Then we start the 4th measure, same as the 2nd, 3, 5, but we don't play the. So what a motif is, it's a repeating idea, but you don't want to repeat it exactly the same. So to avoid that, you make minor changes. In this one, all we did was stop the lick early, but I could have reversed the order of the notes, played 2 notes in a row, added some variety on top. Motifs should be the same, but not exactly the same, almost the same. So we get through the first 4 measures. Well, let's look at the last idea too. 5, 4. Now what I'm doing here is I'm starting the lick for the next section. You can start a lick before the chord changes. All 4 of these are the band's playing in E7. In the next measure, the band is going to go to an A7. So what I'm doing is, by starting on the 4th beat here, I'm anticipating the change. I'm starting to play before the change. So when the change happens, I've created momentum into it. So that one, it will call playing before the change. And it's very valuable. You don't need to wait for the band to change to start the next idea. You can get going early. So we started this lick on the 4th beat, But those last two notes aren't the end of the second lick, but rather the start of the lick that's coming. So these 4 measures are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, next 4, I'll play through it once, then we'll go through them again. So we get... Okay, the first idea is a double stop. Now you don't have to play notes just one at a time. We're sliding from 3/3 to 5/5, and you can play any 2 notes you want in the scale, so experiment with it. The easiest ones are when they're right on top of each other. And so that's what we did here, 3/3, and we're sliding from 3/3 to 5/5. Adding the next tip, which is varying the rhythm. Everything we've done up to this point is in eighth notes and quarter notes. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and blah. In fact, they're all eighth notes except for 1 half note that we've had. By switching to triplets, we've created a dynamic interest using the rhythm. And the rhythm will make it feel more like a solo and less like a scale. So you slide from 3 to 5, and you're going to play this one 3 times. 1 pola. Now, if you don't know what triplets are, you really need to learn them to play out your solos. Not every solo has triplets, but everybody that can play a good solo is able to if they want. And it's 3 notes over 1 beat. So a quarter note would be 1, 2, 3, 4. An eighth note is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a triplet is 3 notes in that space. Tupola, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If that's hard for you, try saying strawberry on the beat. Strawberry. Strawberry, 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 strawberry. Then right after that, we go into eighth notes, 2 and. So it's strawberry, 2 and that variance in the rhythm sounds great. Back to the triplet idea, strawberry, and then just a quarter note, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to count triplets to help me know where I'm at, I count them 1 pola, or 1 pola 2, 1 pola 2, and 3 pola 4. 1 pola 2, and 3 pola 4. Powerful, double stop idea, varying the rhythm makes it even more interesting. Right after that, I'm actually going to switch fingers to my ring finger, and I'm going to play 5, 5, 3, 5, vibrato, 5, 3, hammer 4, 5. So what's going on here? Well, what I'm doing is I'm just running through my scale, shape 2, but then I am hammering 3 to this 4th fret here. So why? What I've done is I've left the scale that I'm using and I've entered the arpeggio. There, the band goes from our A7, and right when I play that 4th fret, the music lands back on the E7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now the E7 actually has a G sharp note in it. So our scale has this note, but our chord has this note. So you can think about it as using a blues tone. You can think about it as leaving the scale and using an arpeggio as well. Or you can think about it as just targeting a note in the chord. Because right when I hit this, the band's also changing, which leads me to my next idea. When the chords change, try to land on a chord tone. So when it goes from A7 or E7 to A7, when the band plays the A7, try to land on one of those 4 notes. You can start this small. One of the easy ways to do it is through blues. 5th fret here on the B string is an E note. 5th fret here on the E string is a note. Let's go into an A chord. It's going back to an E. Do, 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 do. And that was just me improvising, but that is a great way to practice what we're going to call target notes. If you want to see a more in-depth lesson on target notes, let me know. And if you want to see a more in-depth lesson on mixing arpeggios and scales, let me know. The E7 arpeggio looks like this. 2nd fret of your D string, 1st fret of the G, open B, 3rd fret, the D note, open E, then the 4th note. And the scale is 02, 02, 03, 03. So you can see that little 1 note discrepancy. In fact, most blues players will bend there a little bit. All right. If you like these tabs, remember you can print them out by becoming the Patreon. All right. So those links are in the notes. So we're going to hammer 4 to 5. I'm sorry, 3 to 4. Then right after, go to the 5th fret here. That is just really accentuating that change, playing a chord tone followed by a chord tone. So here I'm using these target note ideas. So the first 2 measures slowly would be 1 pola 2 and 3 pola 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and. The band plays a little bit on the 4th beat. Again, using triplets, again, varying the rhythm. Mixing triplets and straight notes, mixing triplets and regular eighths, great way to make it sound more like a solo. 5, 4, 3, 4, 2, 0, 2nd fret of the D, which also is an E note, and the band is playing the E7. So I'm also landing on a target note. Now again, all of these concepts really deserve their own tutorial. All of them deserve their own space in your practice routine. So this solo, if it feels over your head, try to get it down, play along with me, but also then go through and try to add these concepts one at a time to your own playing. This is a comprehensive, powerful video, but it can be overwhelming. I understand that. The 4 of these together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 pola 2 and 3 pola 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 pola, 1 pola, 2, 3, 4 and 1. Again, we used that running trick where we played into the change. Now the next part comes up, and the harmony here is B7, A7, E7. A lot of options here. You can mix major and minor scales. You can just use the minor scale. But what we're doing is targeting with arpeggios, or you could even think about this as modes like B mixolydian, A mixolydian, or just a B7 arpeggio, A7 arpeggio. The B7 arpeggio, quickly, it's right up here, and it would be 7, that's our flat 7, 9 our root, 8, 5, 5, 11. Let's start from the 9 so you can hear it. Root to root. The extended shape. If I move that down 2 frets, 5, 7, A root, 6, 5, 5. And then we have our, I'm sorry, 1 up there on the 9th fret. So we get A7 arpeggio. You don't have to use this approach for the turnaround, but I really do like outlining these chords with these arpeggios. So we start off me sliding from 7 to 8, and then grabbing 7 with my index finger. Another leap. And 1 and. Okay? Then I'm going to play the 10th fret. Even though 11 is our note, I'm going to play 10th and bend up a little bit. So I'm bending into that note. Bends definitely need their own video. You play this note first. That's what you want to try to bend to. So it's 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1. Now I'm on the A7 and I'm thinking A7 arpeggio. Oops. Yeah, there we go. But what I did was I added something called a passing tone, our next tip. I'm going from 7 to 5, so it's fun to just hit the note in between on the way down. It adds color. Here I'm going to outline the arpeggio more directly. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Finishing this idea on the and. That's also important to note. Just like your ideas don't need to start on the downbeat, they don't need to finish on a downbeat either. First two measures together. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Boom. Now the last one, at least with blues, one cool thing you can do is just throw a turnaround into your solo. Play the 2nd fret here, up to 4 and 4 together. And I'm going to use this idea that could be, but I'm going to vary the rhythm. I'm going to go 1, then play the 4th fret of the G and the E together in eighths. 2 and. Move it down to the 3rd fret, and now I'm going to use triplets. 3rd fret of the G, 3rd fret of the E, 3rd fret of the G, triplet. 1, 2, and 3, pola 4. Down to 2 and 2, and then here it's a quarter note. 1, 2, and 3, pola 4. Hammer on to the open G string. And you use your thumb there, index finger to pluck the open E. A triplet outlining the E7 chord. And then our thumb comes down 2nd fret of the D, our root note. 1 pola 2, 3 and 4. Then we play 5th fret here, 5 5. 6 6 is passing. Then finish on 7 7 on the 4th beat. Using our solo to imply that chord change. Last 4 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3, pola 4, 1 pola 2, 3 and 4. Let's play through the whole thing. Let's play through it nice and slow, and let's count through it before we just try to play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 pola 2 and 3 pola 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 pola 1 pola 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 pola 4. 1 pola 2, 3 and 4. All right, now let's try to shred it without counting. I'll count us in, but we're going to just jam it. folks, that is how you make your solo sound like a solo instead of a scale. We walk through the whole thing. And until next time, every other Wednesday, baritone. Wednesday's a concept day. We do songs on Saturday, guitar on Monday. Come learn with us. Keep on rocking. Keep on rolling. Have a lovely day. Life is good. And until next time, mahalo, y'all.